Welcome back to Car Show 1, the home of legendary machines, untold automotive stories, and cars that stirred generations of drivers. If you're passionate about the cars that shape the roads we drive today, the icons that broke boundaries, and the machines that defined eras, then you're in the right place. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because today we're diving deep into the history of a car that didn't just challenge the sports car establishment, it completely rewrote the rulebook. This is the story of the 1970 Datsun Fairlady Z, a car that took the world by surprise and forever changed the image of Japanese performance. The year was 1970. Muscle cars were king in America, and European sports cars like the Porsche 911, Jaguar E-Type, and MG were still basking in the glow of style and prestige. Japanese cars were, to many, just practical economy boxes, reliable, affordable, and frankly, not much more. But then came a sleek, low-slung coupe from a company called Datsun, and everything changed. The Datsun Fairlady Z, also known in the United States as the 240Z, wasn't just a good car for the price, it was a genuinely great sports car in its own right. It was born from a vision. Yutaka Katayama, the man often called Mr. K, believed that Japan could build a world-class sports car that would appeal not just to Japanese drivers, but to Americans as well. He pushed Nissan to develop a lightweight, rear-wheel drive, 6-cylinder sports coupe that offered performance, reliability, and affordability in one perfect package. And when the Fairlady Z launched in late 1969 for the 1970 model year, it did exactly that. It was fast, it was stylish, and it was priced lower than anything else in its class. The 1970 Datsun Fairlady Z was built on a solid foundation, a steel monocoque chassis that was both light and strong. Under the hood was a 2.4-liter inline-six engine, codenamed L24, producing 151 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. It might not sound like much today, but in a car that weighed just 2,300 pounds, it delivered spirited performance. The sound of that inline-six revving through its range was pure mechanical music, smooth, high-revving, and eager. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, it offered drivers real engagement with every shift. The suspension setup was also ahead of its time, independent McPherson struts in the front and Chapman struts in the rear. Combined with its 50-50 weight distribution and low center of gravity, the car handled beautifully. You could throw it into corners with confidence, and it responded with agility and poise. It was a car that felt alive beneath you, a driver's machine that invited you to push it to the edge. But performance was only half the story. The design of the Fairlady Z was what made jaws drop. It didn't look like a budget sports car, it looked like a proper exotic. The long hood, short rear deck, and flowing fastback lines gave it classic GT proportions. The front end, with its modest grille and flared fenders, hinted at the European design language of the time, but with a distinct Japanese identity. From every angle, the car looked purposeful and elegant. It was the kind of car you'd see in a magazine and dream about all night. Inside, the Fairlady Z delivered more surprises. Unlike many of its rivals, it didn't feel sparse or cheap. The cabin featured a stylish dashboard with a full set of gauges, tachometer, speedometer, oil pressure, water temperature, fuel level, and even a clock, all housed in a driver-focused instrument panel. Bucket seats offered just enough support for spirited driving, while still keeping things comfortable on long cruises. The interior materials were durable, and the layout was logical, even refined. But what truly set the Fairlady Z apart was how it made you feel. You didn't need to be rich or famous to own one. It was attainable, yet it made you feel like a rock star. It gave you that same thrill you'd expect from a car twice the price, and with Japanese reliability built in, it wouldn't leave you stranded on the side of the road. It was a sports car for the people, and the people loved it. In its first year alone, the Fairlady Z sold over 17,000 units in the United States under the name Datsun 240Z. Demand exploded, waiting lists grew, dealerships couldn't keep them in stock, and as more people got behind the wheel, word spread, this wasn't just some Japanese copy of a European classic, this was something new, something better. Affordable, fast, reliable, and stylish, the Z had it all. And the car wasn't just a hit on the streets. It quickly made its mark in motorsports. In SCCA competition, the 240Z dominated. It beat out European and American rivals on road courses across the country. It even proved itself in long-distance endurance racing, including the East African Safari Rally, one of the toughest races in the world, where modified Fairlady Zs showed incredible durability and pace. The Fairlady Z wasn't just a product, it was a movement. It represented the rise of Japanese engineering excellence in a world that hadn't yet learned to respect it. It broke stereotypes, challenged the establishment, and showed the world that passion, performance, and precision could come from Tokyo just as easily as they did from Stuttgart or Modena. Collectors today still chase after the 1970 Fairlady Z. Unrestored examples are becoming rare. Restored ones are rising in value every year. Enthusiasts love them not just for their looks or their performance, but for what they stood for, the start of something bigger. The Z wasn't just a car, it was the opening chapter in a long and glorious story that continues to this day with the latest Nissan Z models. And here's the amazing thing, even over 50 years later, when you drive a 1970 Fairlady Z, it still feels special. That feeling of direct connection between man and machine is still there. There's no turbo lag, no drive-by-wire throttle, no computer standing between you and the road. Just you, a responsive engine, a perfectly balanced chassis, and the sound of pure mechanical harmony. It's the kind of car that brings smiles at gas stations, sparks conversations at stoplights, and turns heads at every car meet. Because everyone, whether they know its history or not, recognizes that this car is something unique. A legend, a pioneer. The 1970 Datsun Fairlady Z is more than a car. It's a milestone. It's the moment the world realized that great sports cars didn't have to come from Europe or America. They could come from Japan. And when they did, they could be even better. It changed the rules, it changed expectations, and it gave birth to one of the most enduring nameplates in automotive history. Thank you for joining us here at Car Show 1. If this story inspired you or brought back memories, hit that like button and subscribe for more automotive deep dives. Drop a comment and let us know what classic Z car you'd love to drive, or maybe already do. Because in the world of cars, few names carry the passion and power of the Fairlady Z. Until next time, keep driving, keep dreaming, and keep the legends alive.